Hey guys, how's it going? So, we got a story and gameplay trailer for Tekken 8, and that is super exciting. I was watching the Game Awards last night with a few of my friends on stream. I was able to co-stream that, and that was super cool. And we got the story and gameplay trailer for Tekken 8, which is actually shorter than the original trailer we got at PlayStation State of Play, which was interesting. But we did get to see some cool stuff about the story and some of the gameplay mechanics and the new heat system, which I will dive further into in just a second. But I just wanted to go over just some of the trailer stuff and break down a couple of things. So we're just going to start. You see Jin falling or drowning in some water. Maybe the Devil Gene is taking over or something. You see a hand pulling back up. Maybe that's Kazuya's hand. But yeah, there's that. And then afterwards we see Jun in a forest. And I actually really liked Jun as a character in Tekken 2. I loved playing Jun in Tekken 2 and in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I thought the last stage was a really cool ambient stage with like calm atmosphere. It was a cool stage, and it was a cool character, especially when she turned into Unknown and you got to see like the evil side of Jun. I thought that was really cool. So I'm actually really excited that Jun is back in Tekken because they never really explored Jun and Jin's relationship. We just know that Jun is Jin's mother. So I'm actually really intrigued to see what happens with all of that. And we see Jun in a forest, which hopefully is a stage because it looks really cool as a stage. Also interesting that it's like a peaceful environment. You could say it's like the complete opposite atmosphere to Kazuya and Heihachi's volcano environments, which appear like very aggressive, and the forest environment here is like super peaceful and like serene. So I thought that was a really cool contrast that they brought with bringing back Jun into the game. Further on in the trailer we see Paul looks completely different. Actually a cool redesign. He looks really cool. His outfit looks really cool. His hair maybe it's just the angle, it looks a little weird, but he does look more rugged and like weathered, as he really should. I know in Tekken 4 he looked more like weathered and not as much of, let's say, like a mascot jokey character that he is in Tekken 7 and a couple of the previous games. So it's cool that they've redesigned him like that. Law looks completely different. Law's face as well looks completely different. But it should be noted that the character models themselves, like the rigging of the bones, were made from scratch. They're being made from scratch. Like Law, Paul, Jin, Kazuya. That's why some of their faces look different, because they've just built these models from the ground up, like from scratch. They haven't just taken the models from previous games. They've built them from scratch again, which I think is very ambitious. But it's cool that they've done that. And Law looking strong as fuck. He almost looks like Mortal Kombat-esque in this picture. But he looks cool, and he's got nunchucks, which is cool. I thought that was cool. Maybe I think that what we see with nunchucks is actually a grab, or maybe part of a rage art. But I think that's more likely a grab. So maybe nunchucks aren't a weapon like Noctis's sword, for example. But that's cool. Jack and King look pretty similar to Tekken 7, I would say. Maybe just slightly different, more polished. We see some stage destruction where King does forward 2-1 into the wall against Jack, and Jack gets exploded by this canister on the floor, and he gets propelled up into the air. The canister explodes, and Jack is propelled into the air. I've seen people compare this to Dead or Alive. I wouldn't know. I've never played Dead or Alive, but it's intriguing. It's interesting. I mean, we'll just see what happens. It's not. The thing is with this trailer that everything happens so fast that you don't actually see very much time on the screen to get a really good idea of what these new mechanics or effects actually are. But on first glance, it looks pretty cool. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. And then after this, we see Lars looking fairly similar, a new costume. He's doing a combo with this new heat system, or meter cancel, I've seen some people call it. There are some cool effects on this, like there's blue and red sparks flying everywhere, and yeah, that looks cool. Oh, and the stages themselves look really, really cool. All the stages we see in this, I think they look really cool, and they're not really similar at all to each other, which I think was really cool. Then we see later on, we see Jin do this heat system thing again, where he hits and then runs up, like dashes up. I mean, it's a meter cancel or heat system, whatever you want to call it. It's a new mechanic, and actually here it looks more like a 50-50 because Jin guesses wrong, does a high, Kazuya punishes and launches. He ducks the high and launches. Maybe not like a 50-50, more like a mix-up, mechanic. I think if everybody had a 50-50 like that, it'd be kind of busted. But Kazuya ducks and punishes, and you see the blue sort of spark lighting effect. I guess that's the homing. And Kazuya does while standing 2. He accesses his devil form for combos. Maybe that's the thing, that you can utilize more of Devil Kazuya for combos, and like Devil Jin for Jin's combos. That would be kind of cool, because you don't see that, especially for Kazuya. You can only access devil form when you're in rage in Tekken 7, as it is now. So it'd be cool to see more of Devil Kazuya, because you don't see him all that often in Tekken 7 right now. So that's the trailer. I mean, after that, there's just some kind of Giga Chad. Oh, we're just gonna fight and throw you through buildings, and then we see Jun. Jun looks really good. Jun does look really, really good. And then we see Tekken 8, no date. Save the date, no date. Which was a little disappointing. Well, it was disappointing. I'm disappointed that there was no date. Basically, this means, for me at least, this means that Tekken 8 won't be released in 2023. I feel like if it was going to be released in 2023, they would at least say at the end screen, coming 2023. But I'm guessing now we're looking more around 2024 for the release of Tekken 8. Maybe a beta in 2023 at least. Please Bandai Namco, or should I say Harada. So that was the trailer, and I just wanted to go over a couple of things about the trailer. Everyone has their designs tweaked. Costumes are completely redesigned, although King and Jack 8 look pretty much the same in my opinion, maybe just more polished, and the colors are more vibrant. The character models themselves, the rigging of the bones were made from scratch. I got that info from an IGN interview done with Harada himself, where he talks about the character models, especially like Law, Paul, Jin, and Kazuya. That's why Law's face looks like very different. Paul is like completely different. Well, you know, he's got the same facial structure more or less. He just is all of these character models are redesigns, or just they're built from the ground up. So the rigging of the bones, for example, that's why they look different, and Law looks like strong as fuck. Stage destruction, that's a thing, because we saw the canister in the trailer. That's interesting. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. We'll just have to wait and see whether it's going to be something that's a nuisance, or something that's interesting and adds depth to the game. The lighting and the visual elements are still works in progress and not quite up to the level they want them to be yet. I also got that from the interview Harada did with IGN. So if any of you like me were a bit overwhelmed by the visual noise in some of these clips, that's why. That's my take anyway, is that the visual elements are still being polished. Like, especially with this Lars combo, there's just so much going on. So they're still working on that. And the optimistic side of me is saying that will be more polished, there won't be so much visual noise, everything will look, you know, more clean and just better overall. Because one of the things that I was a bit disappointed at first glance with this trailer was that the characters didn't look as good as the first Tekken 8 trailer with Jin and Kazuya. Like, the textures in the first trailer looked way more detailed. Like, you can see the rain running down Kazuya's face. You can see more how his face contorts and all the rest of it. And just more of like the facial, the fine details of the character models in the first trailer. So I'm guessing that this second trailer just hasn't gone through as much development as the first trailer, which isn't the greatest thing, honestly, if you're releasing the trailer to show off the game. But as it's a story and gameplay teaser trailer, not promoting the graphics of the game, I mean, I kind of get that. My optimistic side of me is saying that it will look better overall when the game is fully released in 2024, which is my prediction. Or we'll get another trailer down the line which shows off these same characters with more detailed graphics. So, the things I wanted to quickly go over from the IGN interview were that stages have different times of day. Harada said this, and this is kind of cool. I hope they don't do it with every stage, because then we might get 6 stages, which actually turn into 12, but it's actually just 6 stages. But 6 stages with 2 different times, which I don't think would be the greatest thing, honestly. But if they just had a couple of stages that have different times of day, I think that would be pretty cool. As long as they do, there's a good variety of stages, stages with different wall breaks, floor breaks, maybe a wall and floor break, maybe a balcony break to a wall break to a floor break. I think that I would love to see that sort of stage where they really up the level on different areas you can break, and not just like, oh, this is a wall break, then a balcony break. I would love to see like more of the mix in balcony breaks and floor breaks. Maybe a floor break into a balcony break into a wall break or something. I know it sounds silly, but I think that would be really cool. Some more diversity in the stage destruction or the wall break mechanics in Tekken. The heat system is a thing. This is a quote: "The key word to relay the concept for the battle system is aggressiveness." That is something that I'm not going to lie, I'm a little concerned about, because Tekken 7 is already very, very aggressive as a fighting game. It's very, very aggressive. You have lots of characters with plus 80 moves, which is a really aggressive game. So when Harada says, and I quote, "Say if somehow you're both able to block 100% of attacks, then the match itself wouldn't progress because nobody would do damage. And that the heat system is meant to," quote, "enhance and articulate aggressiveness." It's a little concerning because Tekken 7 is already really aggressive as a fighting game. But we'll just have to wait and see how the game plays when it fully comes out. But Harada has promised more details next year. We'll just have to wait and see when it comes out. A lot of Tekken 8's design has been influenced by the esports scene and Tekken 7's reception, apparently, according to Harada. And he has promised more details next year. So I think I'll end on that. Super excited for more details on Tekken 8. Disappointed we didn't get a date. A little disappointed we didn't get more gameplay. Really interested about the heat system, the stage destruction, and Jun is finally back. Jun is finally back. So yeah, super excited. I hope you are too. And let me know what you guys think about the trailer. What was your reaction? Were you super excited, or were you let down a bit? Were you overwhelmed by visual noise like I was a little bit? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.